Hello everyone, Axel here, back with another video. Today, as you can see, I am filming my shelves. I've wanted to film a video showing my entire collection for a while, but I never could quite find the format, I guess, that I liked. So I decided to try this, as in showing you my albums in the shelves, how they are displayed right now. The small bit you are seeing is, you probably have guessed, my Loona collection. This shelf like the thing, I will show a complete overview a bit later, but this one I bought specifically for my albums. As you can see, I've decorated it a bit. It's still in progress, honestly. But yeah, right now I really like how this looks. So this is why I'm starting with it, and then we'll move on to the other side of my room where I have the other part of my collection. I'm not going to do a room tour or anything because honestly, except that shelf part, the rest is really messy and not like aesthetic or anything. So yeah, let's move up a little. So because this part is so high, I have to hold up my tripod. Sorry, it's probably a bit shaky. It's a part you've already seen, because this is where I have my GWSN collection put up. So yeah, if you haven't seen my GWSN collection, go check that video. I also have around here a few posters, so you can see I have Yeojin's Summer Island poster, the weird square ones. I have up there, very high, my Loona poster that I got with ++, the limited one. And I've got on this side the disgusting wallpaper, but to cover it up a bit, I have GWSN The Park in the Night Part 2 poster. I really love this one. I have their poster for the keys, and right here I have Beauty and the Beats poster and a mirror, so we're not going to look at this. So right now I have this on display. It's the Midnight Festival merch bundle thing. Basically I put the lanyard and everything in it, and since it has a postcard on the front, it's, yeah, I display it. I really like the picture. But other than that, it's all GWSN and IZ*ONE. As you can see, GWSN are still on this side. It really hasn't changed at all. So this is the case where the Park in the Night Part 1, 2, 3 are in. I'm not going to move it to show it because, well, I showed it in the collection video, and also it's holding up everything, so if I move it, everything is going to fall down. Here I have the Park in the Night Part 3. It's the signed copy that I have, so that's why it's wrapped. The signed copy that I have of the keys, and the normal version of the keys that I have. And then all of this is IZ*ONE. They really have a thick discography. So because I put it to me in this version of Honor Reader, I put this on display, but I will probably change it, you know, depending on my mood. So yeah, and behind that, we've got the rest of my albums behind that, so we're going a bit backwards, but I have my two other copies of Honor Reader here and here. Here I have my the three versions of Oniric Diary. So there's the 3D version, the Oniric, and the Diary version. I don't remember the names. Yeah, and then here I have my two copies of Blue Mist. I don't have the third version because, well, this album is so big. At the time I was only buying one version for their albums, and then I got this one in a set when I bought cards, you know, because I collect 3 members. But yeah, if it was smaller, I would have gotten the third one, but it's so big. So, like, I'm fine with not having it. Then here I have my two versions of Coloris, sorry. For the CD plates, I actually have Itomis and Unbase. That wasn't really on purpose. I put Unbe when I bought the album originally, then I bought the second version on Mercari because it came with cards that I needed and because I only had one version back then. And the second version, yeah, came with the Itomi's CD, so yeah, that was pretty lucky. So for artists, I'm not going to move everything, but the two covers that I have are Onyoung's and Sakura's. And then here I have the last little bit of my collection. It's not really album, it's their concert kino, so their first concert, Eyes on Me in Seoul, and then right under it, on a Rick Theater, and I have unboxings up for both of those if you want to know what it looks like. But yeah, that's my GWSN and Eyes One Child. Honestly, before on a reader, the colors really fit together, but because there's like black and the strong red of this one, now it's not like, it doesn't work as well as it used to, but well, I still really love this part, honestly. But yeah, let's move down a bit. So right under that, as you can see, it's the Loona part of my shelf. They have so many albums, obviously, they need their own space. I have in the middle the Park in the Night Part 1, the signed copy that I have, because it holds up everything and it adds a touch of color, you know. So, obviously, I've got my Loona light stick right here on the front. This is the box that the Polaroid set came in. You know, the Loona Island Polaroid. So, yeah, I kept it. I still need to think about where I want to put it. And I also have the film strip thingy. So yeah, I still don't know where to put this either, so right now it's just chilling with the albums. So my Loona collection. I'm sorry there's a bit of shadow, but because of the way this is, like, the way my room is organized, there's no way I can make this better. They have so many, so I had to make decisions. I don't have every single album, but right now I'm really satisfied with what I have. I consider my collection complete. I'm not like looking to buy new albums. There's maybe one exception, but we'll see. So to quickly get you through this, I've got, of course, well, first Heejin's version, then I have Yeonjin, and this one, I'm going to mention it when it's the case, but this one, Yeonjin's, is first press. Then I have Loona and Hassel, and I mentioned an exception. I kind of want Hassel's like solo cover, so we'll see if maybe I can find it. Then we've got Hyojin, and for her, since she is my old bias, I of course got all three of her versions, so the solo version, the Hyojin and Loona version, and the one she has with Hassel, which is one of my very favorite Loona albums. I love it so much. Then after Hyojin we had Love and Live. Oh, I forgot. Hyojin is first press too. The solo one. Hyojin is first press. And the very first K-pop album that I bought was Loona's Plus Plus. You will see it a bit later. The second time I bought albums, it was this Hyojin and Jinsoul's that we will see a bit later too. So, as I've said, after Hyojin, of course, came Love and Live that I have right here. I don't have the limited version of or anything, but I'm really happy that I have it. It's such a beautiful album. And then, of course, I've got Vivi's album, so I've got the Hassel and Vivi version. Then we've got Love and Evil, of course, the normal version. Then we've got Kim Lip. It's version A. I can never remember. I'll write it down. Then, as I've mentioned, I have Jinsoul's album. It's first press 2, and it's the one with Kim Lip. Then we have Shoeri. Then, of course, we've got Mix and Match, and Max and Match. When the reprints happened, I was so excited that I could get my hand on those. Then we've got Eve's, and once again, it's a version. I don't know which version it is, but it is a version. Then we've got Shoe, I have a solo cover. Then I've got Shoe and Go On's cover. Then Go On and Olivia Hay. This one is first press too. But I don't know if they did reprints for this one because it was still in stock in a few places for a very long time. And yeah, then we have Beauty and the Beat, the normal version too. So that's all their pre-debut albums. Then we've got the Small Separation, and then their group albums. The first thing that I have here is actually not an album. It's the photo book, the Orbit 2.0 photo book that I found on Mercari Japan for a really good price. The one thing I would like to add to this is the Orbit 1.0 CD. It's like a big goal for me, but obviously if I find it, it will be for a lot. So yeah, I hope I can find it one day. Then we've got Plus Plus. So this is the A version, and I got the limited A version. As I've mentioned, this is the very first K-pop album that I bought. And yeah, so it's very, very precious to me. Then we've got Plus Plus, the normal B. I really like this version. Then we've got X or Multiply. This is the version that I have. I can never remember which one it is, but it is one of the two limited versions. I only have one copy of Multiply, which is a bit weird because it's my favorite era. Butterfly is my favorite OT12 title track, but honestly, I don't vibe too much with the photo books. I don't know, and they're quite similar and everything. So yeah, now those are a bit hard to find, so they're not really worth the hassle, you know. Then I have, of course, Ash, and for Ash I was going feral. I was so happy they were coming back, so I bought 3 versions. I have 2 of the limited and 1 of the normal version. Don't ask me which one, but because I don't remember, but yeah. And then of course we've got Midnight, and for Midnight I got each version. Because this time the photo books were completely different, so yeah, it was really worth it. Moving forward, I will always buy all the versions. As you can see, I have a bit of space, so yeah. I think every time now I will get like all 4 versions if they keep going with 4. That's it for my Loona shelf. Now let's move down a bit. So this is the last of the 3 shelves on this, of the 3 parts of this shelf. This is the part where the logic is a bit hazy. In my head it makes sense, but yeah, because this is all groups that I really, really love, but also that fit on there. Because for example, I really adore ITZY, but I moved their albums on the other side. But yeah, as you can see, we have the Park in the Night Part 2 signed here on display. And then we have here in a pile my Red Velvet album that are holding up everything. Yeah, let's get all close and intimate with these albums. Actually, I forgot to mention something really important. GWSN, IZ*ONE and loona are 3 of my old groups. I have different rules for the albums that I buy and that I get. For my old groups, I just buy what comes out. I pre-order the things. I don't think about what I'm doing, you know. Like I've said, I'm planning on getting all 4 of loona's version moving forward. I will always also buy everything GWSN puts out, and well, I'm not going to talk about IZ*ONE. And then there's 2 categories of groups. Red Velvet fit in the first one with, for example, Monsta X. The category is groups that I love, but I have a huge ass discography. The thing is, I really love Red Red Velvet, and by now I can say I like almost all of their songs, but they have so many albums. If I like try to get everything and all the versions and everything, I will be poor. But so I have to make choices because since I collect many groups, I have to make decisions. So for their next comebacks, I will buy more or less every version. We'll see how SM does these things. But for their older albums, I'm like being really picky about them. I only buy them like if I like the packaging and if I don't know, if I'm really feeling the album. So, for example, I have here the Perfect Velvet. This is actually an exception to my rule because I hate this like jewel case, slip, cardboard cover thing. And all the other albums they have that are packaged this way, I'm not going to buy. But this is the exception because honestly, Peekaboo is the first Red Velvet song I've ever heard. It's also still my favorite of their title tracks. I really like the cover, it's really beautiful. It would look really good on like a LP, But yeah, and the album is flawless, so I decided to get this one, but I'm not going to get the other ones. There's like 2 or 3 albums, older albums that I still want. I can't name them off the top of my head, but yeah. If they don't have that packaging, basically, I want them. Then after the Perfect Velvet, I have... You can see it because I turned it around, but... So yeah, that's Monster. For Monster, I actually have 2 versions. We will see the, like, bass note version a bit on the side, but yeah. I really love this album, so I decided to get 2 of the versions. Then we have Summer Magic, and it's actually the first Red Velvet album I bought. Then we have here their Ice Cream Cake album. Then we've got my copies of Finally. So I've got 2 versions of the Finally version. One that is first press and then one that was in the reprint. And I have 2 versions of the scrapbook version because I collect Stelgay, so I tried in a few group orders to try to get her cards. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. But yeah, that's my little Red Velvet collection right now. Then for most of the groups that I collect and most of the groups that I will see, unless I mention otherwise, for most groups I wait until the album is out, and then if I like the packaging, if I like the songs, mostly if I like most of the songs on the album and if I like the packaging, then I buy it. It's the case, for example, with Secret Number. As you can see, I did an unboxing of those 2 albums, but I have got both of the albums. Honestly, I really hope we get to come back soon. I really like their songs, so yeah. Then we have a part that is a bit complicated right now. So yeah, this is my April collections. I bought those albums a while ago, and honestly I still don't really know what I want to do with them, so right now they're staying like this. Yeah, if you know, you know, but this isn't really the place to talk about what is going on. Then we've got my Saturday album. Only You is so small, it doesn't really fit with the rest, but yeah. I put their 3 albums here, so yeah, Only You, dibidibidib, and the Byung album, which is named Ikik. I don't know how to pronounce it. Then you can see the very recognizable spines of Weekly's album. Honestly, I love Weekly so much, I kind of pre-order without... I pre-order their albums without thinking, so yeah. They're in the category where I don't think, I just buy. we've got, you can't really see because it's like shiny, but I've got Yukika's Time About album, the both versions, and I've got of course also Lady album, but it's on another shelf. You'll see why later. Then we move on to one of my other Ulch groups, Card. So for Card, I have one version of each of the albums, of course, Ola Ola, You and Me, Ride on the Wind, Rain Moon, Wave with Words. And I've got right here my signed copy of Wave with Words. It's a M-Wave signed copy, because we knew that Jayzef's enlistment was soon, I decided to get one of these, because I knew that was probably one of my, like, that I wouldn't be able to get a OT4 styling thing for a very long time. Then we have we've got Monsta's Fatal Love, the 3 versions that I have. I love this album so much, it had to be here. So yeah, you'll see where the rest of their discography is in a bit later. And yeah, as you can see, I kind of sorted this by size. So then in the end, we've got really the taller albums. So yeah, the last part of my April collection. And I've mentioned it, but Irene and Solgi's Base Notes version. This shelf is like really colorful, but I really like it. So yeah, as you can see, there's a little like board at the very bottom. And I use it to store a few things. It's kind of a mess. So you can see shit, but yeah. So let's start with this side. This is all my extra album copies that I'm still trying to sell. If you want one of them, just ask me honestly. So yeah, this one, I actually use this album to, like, I cut up pages and I use them as like cards when I do trade or sales. So yeah, same with this one. In the back, as you can see, I have other copies. So yeah, in the back, so all my extra copies. Let's not think too much about it. We've got Fantasia X. We've got that BTS album. Why can't I remember the name? It's literally my favorite album, but okay. It's because I have HYYH in my head. Then Kickback. It's not actually an extra copy, but it didn't fit on the other shelf and I didn't know where to put it, so it's here for now. The 3 cards album I still have, so yeah. Then I have an extra set of weekly albums. That's the extra version I have of Yukika's album. An extra copy of Ride on the Wind, and an extra copy of the Keys. If you want any of them, literally, I will. I sell those for like 10 euros, including international shipping. Honestly, it doesn't even cover fully the shipping. I just want those out. But then we've got a few other things on the side. So right here, we've got the GWSN little bag that came with their artist book. This is the box for my Loona light stick. This is like a bunch of posters that I don't hang up on my walls. That's Wono's V-Live fanship thing. Monsta X's Siesta photo book. The GWSN photo book that looks so small compared to all the other photo books here. The package for Wavy's photo book, and the secret diary thing for Eyes One, another photo book. These 3 photo books are so big and this one is so small. It's kind of funny. This is what this shelf looks like. Honestly, yeah, as I said, I really like how it turned out. Let's move to the second part. So for the rest of my albums, I have this like little IKEA bookshelf thing where, you know, it's like cubes. So yeah, this is what I use to store my albums. There's also a lot of book in there. Right below there's also like a little part where I put my photo card binders. I'm not going to show it because it's literally just my binders chilling there, but yeah. So this is like the first part. As you can see, I have Oh My Girls, the 5th season kind of display, because I got it recently and I honestly love the cover so much, so I wanted to display it a little. We are going to move the girls a bit to look behind, and it's all of my Monsta X albums, except, well, the 3 versions of Fatal Love that we saw. So yeah, I have way too many Monsta X albums. I kind of consider my collection complete for now. Like with Red Velvet, when I got into them, they had already so many albums out. I couldn't like buy everything, you know. So I picked like the albums that I liked and the packagings that I liked. And yeah, here they are. Going forwards in the future, I will probably buy multiple versions of each of their releases. So yeah, to go in order, we have their it's upside down. We've got their All About Love album, which is disgusting packaging, but yeah, it was like in a store in France, so I could like just get it off the shelf and buy it. The songs are so good, I really wanted it. Then we've got this sick. He's like taking up a third of the shelf, but we've got the 3 versions of Love Synonym Part 2. Yeah, these are literally so big. Why? Then we've got the Shine Forever, the blue versions. I don't remember which one it is. This one has a lot of things floating around, so I left it in the bag. But you see there, I have the other Shine Forever version. I took the bag out. It's actually chilling in the back. I have 2 versions of Photo. You see a bit of my collection in my many Monsta X unboxing that I've posted already. Well, not unboxing, but they were part of hauls, you know. So yeah, 2 versions of Follow, 2 versions of GROOS Love Synonym Part 1. I don't know if next time I will buy all the versions again for his albums. I really hope they are not that thick, like, please. I need space. Then we have the Clan Part 2, Guilty. I kind of wanted to do like a color thing. It doesn't really work, but yeah. Then of course the second version of Shine Forever. Then we've got the Clan Part 1. I might try to get the other version for Part 1 and Part 2 of the Clan. We'll see. Then I have both versions of the Code and Fantasia X, just 1 version. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get more versions for that one, but yeah. That's my Monsta X collection. They take whole shelves by themselves. They're not even an old group. LMAO. They're just too big. And also, now that Ono has his solo releases too, it's a lot. But, well, let's move on to the second part. That part is when things start to get really messy. As you can see, there's a lot of different things there. Let's try to go in order. First, I've got displayed this copy of my ITZY album because I liked that the full group was on it. As you can see, the thing is upside down. I just noticed, but well, I don't really care. And the other thing I have on display is this Rose album, which is like one of my most prized possessions. I really love Rose. Honestly, she's one of my favorite artists. She doesn't release a lot of things. Her last like solo, her last release was like just a single, digital single. So yeah, that's her only like physical album. And this is actually an unsigned promo copy. As you can see, it has on the back like the promo sticker, the not for sale sticker, the little dot next to the title track. So yeah, I got this for really cheap. I at the time I was really I bought this very early. I was really new to K-pop. To tell a bit of story, yeah, I bought this. I had no idea it was a promo copy, and then I watched a few months ago. I watched a video that talked about like promo albums, what they are, what they look like. Because in my head, like all promo albums were signed, but that's not the case. And then when I looked at this after seeing the video, that's how I realized that it was a promo copy. So when I saw that, I bought this on eBay, by the way. When I saw that, I thought, Axel, how much did you pay for this? Like, I I found it weird, so I went back and no, because it's not signed, it's not like worth that much. And yeah, it was for sale for like 10 euros. So yeah, like I've said, I really love her. You should really check out her songs. And then we've got a mess of album on the back. Honestly, I kind of wanted to do like a rainbow thing, well, as much as I could, but I gave up while doing it, so yeah. For pretty much all the groups, except one that I hear, I wait until the album is out, and if I really love it, I buy the album. That's the case, for example, with Twice, so I've got here Feel Special. BTS are one of my old groups. So, the thing is, it's not really visible if you look at my shelves, at what I've shown you, but I'm actually a huge army. Like, BTS are one of my old group, like they're my second favorite group after Loona, if I have to be honest, but like I really, really love them so much. So yeah, I started buying the albums slowly but surely, and at some point last summer I decided to buy a bunch of the albums like all together. But that package got lost, and I never really got my money back. So yeah, I was waiting like to know if I would like if the package would arrive, or I was waiting to get my money back to buy the BTS albums that I needed. But that never really happened. And so my BTS collection stayed as it is, and honestly I'm really frustrated with my BTS collection. It's like the one part of my collection I'm really dissatisfied with. If you watch my previous videos, you've seen that I collect Obi's card, and the other reason I'm so behind on his cards is because, well, I was waiting to get the albums to, like, then trade maybe, or buy the cards that I needed. But yeah, it's really a sore spot. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, basically for BTS I buy albums when they come out, like blindly, eyes closed. It's really sad. I will buy the albums eventually, but honestly I kind of lost like motivation to get albums that I kind of paid for but never got, It's very frustrating. Let's keep going. Then we have My Little Society. So this is the only From S9 album that I have right now, but I actually have some on the way because I really got into them, and you may have seen I decided to collect Yuri, so I'm really excited about that. Then we've got another copy of ITZY. It's their Not Shy album. Up until now, for ITZY, I only got one version of their albums, but honestly, for their next album, guess who? I pre-ordered all 3 versions, and I think that's what I will do. I love them so much. Each one of their songs has always like blew me away, so I'm just getting everything. There's their little photo books, the Paris et Easy one right here, and the one that came with It's Icy, that is kind of, I can't get it out, but the Dala Dala concepts, a serve. Then we have Oh My Girls Non-Stop. There's a few other Oh My Girl albums I want, but they were out of print for so long, and they just reprinted, so yeah, I should be able to get those now. Then we've got Jeffrey's Labyrinth, different time for the Moon Knight. Then we've got their Fever Season album. Then I have Stacy's album, So Bad. I'm still not sure if I'm going to buy their most recent album. Then we've got You Never Walk Alone, another BTS album. Then we've got Persona. We've got Cherry Bullet's Love Adventure. Then we've got Wavy's Kickback. It's Icy. As you can see, the order is because I tried to like do the color thing, but yeah. Then we've got Cherry Bullet's Cherry Rush. This is Taemin's Never Gonna Dance Again Part 1. Then we've got Let's Play Cherry Bullet first album. Then Take Over the Moon, Awaken the World, so 2 of Wavy's album. And right there, this is Yuna's I'm Not Cool album. And this is the last part. As you can see, it's kind of color coordinated. Kind of. So I started with my grey albums because of the lighting. You can't really see that those are grey albums, but well. So I've got Twice as Fancy You, their Eyes Wide Open album. Then I've got Everglow's Unpronounceable album, the La Dida one. So this is BTS's Love Yourself Answer, and I've got Take Over the Moon, the sequel here, because it arrived like just this week, and as you saw, there's no space on the other shelf, so I put it here. The lettering is silver, so it kind of fits with the rest. Right now I have Never Gonna Dance Again Act 2 on display because I really like this concept. So, and then we've got my white albums. So Different Slow Thing Out Loud, Yukika's Soul Lady, I mentioned it a bit earlier, but yeah, since the spine includes white, I put it here. And then a few BTS albums, so Love Yourself Her, Be the Essential Edition, and Map of the Soul 7. They did announce their comeback recently, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. Really, really excited. You can see a bit in the back of a little piece of a Loona albums. Basically, a friend of mine asked me to like keep some of his stuff while he's away, so I put his Loona albums here. This is like more colorful, so I'm going to use this as like the ending screen. So yeah, now you have seen all my collections, all my albums, like a few of my non-album stuff. If you're curious about my photocard collection, I will link above my photocard collection video. I'm planning to do one every 6 months. Honestly, there's a lot of things that have changed since I did that. But yeah, so I should do another photocard collection video in June or late May. Maybe if there's a moment where I have time, I will film that. I am aware that that's a lot of albums. Obviously, I'm not filming this to brag or anything about my collection. I really like watching other people's collection videos, so that's why am I filming this. I also like talking about my collection, and honestly, I don't have anyone to talk about it to in my life. Like, no one's really interested, so yeah, that's also kind of why I started this channel. Before you say anything, no, I'm not like rich. I'm an adult. I have a full-time job. I can't have any hobbies right now because of the sea crisis. So most of these albums were bought during 2020, honestly, because I have nothing else to do but buy albums. Yeah, I live like, well, I have a roommate, but you know, I pay my bills and everything, so at the end of the day, I do what I want with my money. But, well, I hope you enjoyed seeing my collection. I will definitely do like a collection update in the future. Honestly, I've waited a while to do this because every time I was like, I'm going to wait until this or that arrives, but I always have things on the way, so like, this this kept getting pushed back. Please let me know, like, how you got into collecting. Like, what was the first album you bought? I'm really curious to know, like, what got people in, you know? And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.